Good afternoon, everyone from beautiful Vienna. My name is Adana Mehijanic, and I'm your host of Making It in Austria podcast. Today, I always say it's a very special day, but today is really, really, really special day. I have a very interesting person to introduce to the audience, our Aysun Arslan, who I spontaneously met through Mirnesa Velagic Dugonic, who was also one of my guests here some months ago. And she called me one day and said, you need to talk to each other. Aysun and you have to meet and you have to talk because you have so many interesting, points together. And you can, exchange this experience of, being new in Austria, finding a job in Austria, connecting people in Austria and representing, and explaining people how is the Austrian market or how is living in Austria for people who are considering to move to Austria. So without further ado, Aysun, I give you the floor, and I would like to invite you to introduce yourself in, as long or as short as you wish to our audience.
Thank you, Adela. Thank you for the nice introduction. It's an honor to be your guest on your YouTube channel. My name is Aysun Arslan, and I'm very happy that I had the chance to meet you in person. We had you as a guest where I work at the Austrian Integration Fund, since we have a lot of similarities. I was born and raised in Austria. Nonetheless, my parents came in between 1980s and 1990s from Southeast Turkey, and they immigrated to Austria. My grandparents came even earlier. And I witnessed their struggles, the hardships. Back then in the 1990s, there weren't so many opportunities like nowadays. There was no financial aid, no German courses, no orientation courses. I wish my family were that fortunate like the generation nowadays. So I learned German in middle school pretty late because my parents were focused on getting a job, getting some money to take a loan from the bank and buy a house. So I was pretty much by myself, and my parents and my grandparents always told to me that I need to study. As an immigrant and especially a woman, they said you belong to the marginalized group, so your only chance is going to school, getting a degree, whatever it takes. And I struggled a lot during school, but I made it. I thought I owe this to my grandparents at least to study, and I got a degree. I held a bachelor's degree from the Vienna University of Economics and Business. I also lived abroad many times in New Zealand, USA, Australia, France, Switzerland. I did some study visits, internships at the United Nations, or semester abroad in Chicago. That helped me a lot due to my international background. I also learned other languages quite quickly, like French and English. And I think that helps me a lot to be in the position what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to help newcomers, skilled workers from abroad, to integrate themselves, to find a job or whatever they need. I'm working, as I mentioned before, at the Austrian Integration Fund. And for 6-7 months, I'm working on this project called Integration Service for Skilled Workers and Companies. What we are doing is basically when people from outside, there is a current issue with the shortage of skilled workers, where Austria tries to find people from foreign countries like the Philippines, like Colombia, especially when it comes to the nursing staff, qualified staff, also in your field, skilled workers in the IT branch, in the IT field. So there are many people who come to Austria, but it's a foreign country. They don't know the language, or they don't have a network here. They don't know how to land on a job, despite having a very good degree and professional experience, which is a pity. So in my job, I try to help them out. What I'm doing is, my colleagues and we are offering them consultation in person, via email or video call like ours. They come to me, and everyone has a different story. Since there is a person-to-person meeting, people open them up. And another benefit is that I can speak several languages. Even though they speak German quite well, they feel more secure when they can express their feelings. And many people told me, I feel so lonely here because I married a guy here in Austria, but what happens to me? He has a family and friends, but no one understands me. And that's why we thought, okay, look, maybe we should create a networking event for all these people together, and to make new friends. Also, we do held some semi workshops with experts, like about the labor market in Austria, because they also need to know how to sign a contract, because the bureaucracy is different in Austria. It can be overwhelming. Things like that, yeah.
Very
Do you have
nice.
questions?
Of course I do. I have tons of questions. So, can you tell me, Aysun, so as you go back to your childhood, and so I'm curious, what did you want it to be when you grow up? So you mentioned a little bit a few things from your childhood, but what was this, helping other people, supporting other people on their journey? Was that what you have mentioned?
I had great role models in my life. They were all female, and they struggled a lot. They were into forced marriage, etc., and they always opened my eyes from early age on. I didn't have I didn't have a perspective like being this or a lawyer or politician. Never ever. I just I just knew it was very hard for me because my parents weren't speaking German. There was no one helping me out with my homeworks, and I faced also, I'm sorry to say, there's a little bit of discrimination and racism in school due to my look. It was a struggle, but I knew I need to study. I need to get a degree, even if it takes longer. It's no problem. This opens me new ways and doors. If you have a foreign name, if you look like a foreigner, and if you don't have parents who have a university degree, it's even harder for you to land on a job. That's why I have some sense of empathy.
Mm-hmm.
When people are coming to the consultation, I can feel them. I can put myself into their shoes, and I try to help them. But what I think I succeed because people tell me when I leave the room, you boost my self-esteem. Because when I sense when people come, they can be overwhelmed by all the bureaucracy and things they don't know, and they really want to get the job, but they don't know where and how, and they have a university degree like from Bosnia, and they don't know if the qualifications are the same in Austria. So we sent them like to the National Academic Recognition Information Center. It's called ENIGNADIC, and the Austrian Integration Fund even reimburses the costs. It's about 150 euros to 200 euros. And also if they translate their documents in Austria, we are also willing to give the money back so that we can also help them a little bit financially out. But in order to do that, people must know that there is a service for them, that there is an institution, an office who wants to help them. And it's also not only the Austrian Integration Fund who helps the skilled workers from outside. We also have cooperation partners. If we say, oh, this is not quite our issue, maybe it's better if you go to this institution like the Austrian Business Agency or WAF. We are great partners. That's it. Yeah, as I said before, I didn't have a dream job.
But
when
you're
I grew
making
up.
your dream true, and you're making the dream true for many people as well. That's what I
Yeah,
see, because if you are stepping in that role, so then you are solving important challenges of people starting their new life in Austria. And as much as you're successful at work, for instance, if you come here for a job, let's say, and you have a good company and good job, but it's piece of life. It's part of your life. So if you have a husband or wife at home and she's not happy or he's not happy, and they are not, they are struggling, or the kids came here and they're struggling as well because, they don't speak the language and they're in the school and so on. So all these things, they matter. We have
Yes.
to look at the full picture and not just, okay, I have a job and I work, so everything's fine. Yes, between 9 to 5. But then when you come home, so how do you, as you said, how do you, learn the language? How do you, do this recognition of your, certificate of degrees? How do you find friends? How do you feel that you are here, right? How do you feel not foreigner here, right? And when is the time point where you stop feeling as a foreigner and you start feeling like, okay, this I can call home or a second home or something close to it, right? And people coming, they need, no matter of the level of education, if it's middle school or at a high technical school or the university. So we all need this kind of support, guidance, and often just a talk, what you said yourself, where people just have the opportunity to talk to you and express how they feel because they don't get other opportunities, right? Because everybody else expects them from the moment they come here, or they, the family, the friends themselves, when they come to Austria, they have a job. Of course, everything should be, everything should be super for you, right? Because that's the, the mindset, and I can very much relate to that. People think, oh, you came now from Bosnia, you live in Austria, so your life has to be perfect, right? So
Yeah.
do you have any, am I allowed, to have any concerns, issues, challenges, face any discriminations,
Yes.
looks, being a woman, all this, like, it's like, you have a job, you live in a safe country. So as much as we need that, because financial independency, and, nowadays without, two people working in a family, it's hard because the costs are it's just like going through the roof,
Exploding, yeah.
exploding. Yes. So we need that, say, other part of life as well, that we feel that we are as appreciated as we are, even though,
Yes.
as you said, self-confidence, self-esteem boosted, because you don't get that throughout the day, right? Always
No,
like
you don't get it.
you're like, oh, if you, yeah.
If you live out isolated, by yourself, while your partner is at work, like you're by yourself, you need some, like, you need to free your mind, and you need to hear these words, even if it's from a foreigner. Someone needs to open your eyes
Yeah. Yeah.
and show you that you are valuable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's very, very important, and very, very important message for us. Um, One other thing, so what I'm curious about is how do people come to you? So do they Google you? Do they get the name of you and this office from their employer or from IMS, or how does it usually work? So how do people find you and your
Um,
team?
On the first place, we have a website, and people can also find us on Google Maps. Moreover, it's also mouth of word.
Yeah.
If someone comes, tells their friends. Another thing is we go to the German language courses. As you know, the Austrian Integration Fund works with a lot of institutions. And what we do, we go into B2 or C1 language courses, because people speak better German, and we get in touch with the institutions and say, are there people like skilled workers from abroad with a higher degree in your course? Then they say, oh yes, we have. Please come on this date, on this time. We will inform our participants. Come and present your project. Then we go there, we show them our projects, we introduce them everything, and we say, if you are interested, here are our contact details. Please either schedule an appointment now for the following weeks, or write an email at our general email address. This is one thing. Another thing is the Austrian Integration Fund has career platforms. This is when the Austrian Integration Fund gets in touch with many companies from a branch and organizes a day where many companies come together with their HR departments, and participants from OEF go there and can meet the HR departments, the representatives of the companies, and apply for a job. And we use our department, the Integration Service for Skilled Workers and Companies, makes use of this chance, goes there. Last week I was in Graz. There was a career platform for nursing staff. That's where I presented also with a desk and with some, materials, our project. And again, there we made some appointments. People were interested. They put their names on and contact details. When I came back together with my colleagues, I called them and made appointments. Since they are living in Graz, all the appointments were like online per video call. Yes, that's it.
how
Yeah,
how they
yeah.
come to,
That's
how
how
they
it
come
works. Yeah.
how it usually works. So, but that's interesting as well. So you're sitting in Vienna, so the whole team is sitting in Vienna, but you travel throughout Austria, and then you basically work closely with the institutions over there.
Yes, the Austrian Integration Fund has in each state
Yeah.
an office. For example, this week I was supposed to go to Vorarlberg and do a co-event with Connexia for nursing staff, and present them our project and offer our project to the participants, where they could also do some online appointments. Moreover, the other OEF centers in the other states, they are also like trying to represent us whenever they do some events, and they send us emails if they receive an email like in Salzburg, and they say, oh, we don't know how to reply, could we pass this over you? And that's perfectly fine. What I'm wondering is, recently I get also some calls or emails from abroad, like from Turkey. Yesterday I had a video call from Indonesia. The thing is, I think the Austrian Integration Fund works also close with consulates,
Yes.
I think.
Embassies
If it's
as well, yeah.
embassies, right? And you never know if they have a networking event or if they send out letters. That's also a point how people can reach out to us.
One other question is, these services are for free, right? So it's like if people
Yes,
come to you, so
everything is for free. We have also this great project called Mentoring for Migrants. It's a program between AMS, WKO, and OEF, financed by all these three parties. What we are trying to do, many qualified persons come from abroad and they can't find easily a job because of lack of networking, etc. We try to match them with a mentor who does exactly the same like the mentee for several years, has already landed a job and has a career. We match them, and for the duration of 6 months, we try to offer them like workshops, how to improve your LinkedIn profile, or how to write an effective motivation letter. We send them to the parliament, to museums, so they can get in touch, so they can know each other better. And there are usually 100 persons. I'm not sure quite about the number, but like always a mentee and a mentor. And it's quite a successful project, and it's also for free, like for the participants, since these three parties cover the costs.
And I understood, I assume that this office, especially for the skilled workers, has been opened recently, like last 2023, right?
Yeah, you are right. They're trying to make it much easier, especially when it comes to the red, white, red card. Just recently, the government said that they will double the number of cards for red, white, red cards, and also they will ease the process, the duration.
Mm-hmm.
for issuing these red, white, red
Mm.
cards, because this is something which causes for headaches for companies,
Yeah.
because companies must be willing to bring these people from outside, and if the process and the duration is so long, they say, oh,
Yeah.
wait, maybe it's not worth to bring someone from abroad and take someone from Austria. And usually, like, I had a person from Egypt coming here. Also in your branch, when it comes to IT, I have somehow the feeling it's much easier. A German language is not that much
Yes.
required like in another branch. People coming saying I'm working as a software engineer speak almost no German and say, I just came, I booked my flight, and my future employer told me that they will cover for anything, and just that I just need to rest. And I think,
Yeah.
yeah, engineers, software engineers, IT staff have much more luck than other branches. I also had a case, a pilot where was here from Iran
Mm.
and said, look, I have difficulties to find a job as a pilot. I do not want to work as something else, because this was my dream job. And I said, okay, what was your job in Iran? And he said he flew military
Yeah.
aviation.
Yeah.
I said, okay, and what did they tell you here when you went to, with your documents to get the same university degree here? And they said I need to fly again, with a private school, to fulfill the requirements. I need to fly a certain number of hours in the air.
Mm.
And he said it's expensive. And he said 60,000 euros. And I didn't believe him. I said, are you sure? Because in where I live in Wiener Neustadt, there is this private school for aviation. I need to call them to verify this information. And a woman on the phone laughed at me and said, haha, you wish 60,000 euros. It's 100,000 euros.
Wow.
Yeah, there are
Wow.
different cases. Yeah, unbelievable. There
Wow.
is
I
not
thought
the
maybe one
free
zero more, 1 0 more, 1 0 less. Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
it's it's either you have luck or no luck with your career in Austria. Like, if you're forced to leave the country where you lived, people come with different, due to different
yeah.
circumstances to Austria. Some wish to come, some are forced. So in this case, yeah, it was like that.
So it was he, right? Or she, the pilot,
He,
him. So
he.
we are thinking of you. So we don't know who you are, but we are thinking of you, and we hope that you will
Yeah,
find a way to fulfill another dream. So, or
I
to
hope
find a
so. It hurt.
ways.
Yeah, sometimes it hurts. Like, as I said, these
Yeah. Yeah.
personal
Yeah.
interactions. Like, yeah, and also I had a woman. I don't forget about her. Also, people bring me to ideas, because my next networking event will be. Thanks to her, because I invited from BITS some representatives to talk about the Austrian school system.
Nice.
Yeah, because many people come here, they have
Yes.
jobs, but they don't know where to send their
Yeah.
infants, kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
The woman said to me, my husband has a great job. He's a diplomat. We're always, leaving after 5 years the
Yeah.
country. But in Vienna, I feel safe and I won't leave again, because I'm getting older and my kids are growing out. My kids go to international schools and everything is covered
Yeah.
by the employer of my husband. But I came to the point where I think, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
She said, imagine we will get divorced, and, like, I have no money, no education, because I dedicated my life to my kids and my husband. It's time for me to do something. And she said, I'm even willing to work at Billa at the cashier, which is not bad. She just said, like, I'm willing to do anything, please help me. And she said, I also don't know, I'm not well informed about the education system, because my kids got their degrees from different countries, different schools. I don't know where to send them to university,
Yeah.
etc. That's why I thought to myself, maybe it's also good for this
Yeah.
people from abroad to know a little bit more about
Mm.
the Austrian school system.
In general, so yes, absolutely, I agree. And in general, the Austrian school system is, for instance, very different than the Bosnian school system, because
Also the French one.
exactly. So it's different, and when you don't know, or if you don't need to know, so it's new to me. So for
Yeah.
us, now that we have a child, she's still in the kindergarten, but
Mm-hmm.
it's something that we have to think through, even though she's still very young. But you think about
Mm-hmm.
it. You need to know these things. You need to spend quite some time searching around, looking, asking around, asking friends,
Mm-hmm.
recommendation, going to school, looking at it. So it's takes quite amount of time, honestly, and considerations, and also how much it's going to cost. Is it going to be the
Yes.
private one? So it's something that keeps you busy, and you need to,
Yeah.
I can only imagine how is it when you come from abroad, and then maybe if you have stayed in several countries in between, so it's quite different. So I think, yeah, I would say that you're doing a great job, and
Thank you.
making sure that, as you said, the ideas come from the needs, and
Mm-hmm.
the only way to get there is through talking to people and engaging, and trying basically to mitigate some of these things, and just answer to some of the questions that might be as well interesting to the broader audience. So that's how the
Sure.
Making It in Austria was started, because people were constantly asking me, how is it to come to Austria, how is it to find a job, how is it to learn the language, how is it
Mm.
when the partner comes, when the kids come, when this and that. So there was like lots of questions that I was confronted with, and then I said, okay, my story is one of the stories, but that doesn't cover, the spectrum is huge. There's like so many people, every single person has its own story, and it might
Mm.
be some similarities, but it's quite different. So that's where the idea basically came in, from talking to people and just trying to understand where I can.
That's very true. I can only agree with you because throughout the last 6, 7 months, we had more than 300 consultations, maybe, and every situation is different. Sure, there are similarities, but if you listen carefully, like someone said, I was forced to leave Turkey. Now I'm here, and I was and still am a writer. And I published 13 books a year. And like
Yeah.
he showed me his books, and he said, "Where can I display my books? And can you help me out?" I said, in this case, I can't help you really out, but what I can do is we also have some events, like cultural events at ÖEF.
Yeah.
I invited him to one of these events, and he was very happy because in this case, the people need to get out of their
Yes.
comfort zone and meet other people. Especially for a writer, he can be isolated,
Yeah.
in his own bubble space. Yeah,
Well, yeah. Absolutely
every
right.
everyone
Every
is different. Everyone has this story to tell.
Yeah, and absolutely. So that's life we live, and the world is getting more and more connected, more and more global. So I'm sure that we will have more and more different stories, of people coming to Austria. And I'm really happy and grateful that you dedicated some of your time with us today.
Um,
So thank you so much for being and being with us, and sharing your story and story of other people. I'm sure it will inspire many of our listeners. And I will link your LinkedIn, at least your LinkedIn profile, into this
Thank you.
video, so people can get in touch with you, or if someone comes to me and wants to talk to you, I'm happy to forward that as well. And I also looking forward to meet you very soon at any of other events. And once you think that it's appropriate for the Making It in Austria community, if you have some, link to it, or like some
Mhm.
announcement, just please feel free to share. I'm happy to, distribute it. We have groups, we have, emails and so on. So I'm happy to share it. And
Thank you very much for the invitation. I feel very blessed to get to know you. Greetings to Minessa for
Yes, we are
making
waiting.
it happen. Thank you. Yeah, I will definitely still be in touch with you. I would like to invite you to our networking event, even if you
Absolutely.
don't have time there. We need you. You are a role model not only for a migrant woman, but also for skilled workers. You have an interesting background and an interesting job, and especially Bosnia Herzegovina could be a member of the European Union soon. Who
Yes.
knows? So it's quite an interesting country, and we will definitely hear from each other.
Thank you, Aysun. Thank you so much. And thanks everyone for watching, sharing, commenting. So please feel free to get in touch with us. That's all the time we have. So enjoy the day. Greetings from beautiful Vienna and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.